Why? Hello and welcome, everybody. It's a good morning. Today is a sad day for POE1 players as the new league has gotten delayed again. I think it's been about 7 months now, and we're going to get Settlers of Calgary for hopefully not much longer, but a few more months. On that being said, I do plan on hosting a private league, so anyone who is stuck just like myself, if you want a fresh restart, so Settlers, Necro Settlers restart number 8, you're welcome to join us on stream. I don't know if I'm hosting it today, in the future, a couple days, next week, but we'll figure out what's going to happen with that. For now, we're going to go ahead and watch this video about basically a message to Path of Exile 1 players and why we're all sad. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Hey guys, let's talk about POE1. Now when we announced POE2, we promised that we would continue to create POE1 expansions, and we do intend to keep that promise, but it's certainly been a lot harder to deliver on it than what we expected. Now the trouble really started after Settlers of Calgary in July last year. The ideal time to have released 326 would have been late October, before the originally scheduled release of POE2's early access, but we just didn't think we could do it. It was too close to the huge circus that was the organisation around POE2's launch. But we also didn't want to immediately launch it right after POE2 either, so that kind of ruled out December. So then we're thinking, okay, we can't really have a launch in January due to Christmas, so we're really going to have to do it in February. And this wasn't great. It would mean 7 months with no leagues. But we really didn't think it was possible to do it any earlier than that. And we didn't really announce this exactly, but it was certainly something that we had said to quite a few people over time, so the community became generally aware that that was our plan. The issue is this. POE2's endgame needed a lot of work. Having the guys on the POE1 team help out for 3 months on POE2, given that 326 was 7 months away, seemed like a no-brainer, and man did POE2 need it. The problem is we got to the middle of October,
Sorry, the POE1 dev team obviously designed POE1, right? Like that makes total sense. But how is it that there's so much? And again, I know that POE2 is early access. I love the game. It just needs a lot more time for me, right? How is it that there's so many? I don't know if the redundancies are the word, but like there's so many things in the POE2 endgame that contradict. I'm looking for POE1's endgame right now, right? And I know like game development is split into many different like aspects, right? But it just seems like a lot of POE2 is like intentionally tedious, right? And I don't know how much of that is plagued by early access or plagued by like development decisions, right? Like, tower layouts, running the tower to like expand the area when you could just like not and just expand the area and discover the tower. Simple, like picking up shards individually, right? Rather than having them stacked together or having to loot during a breach, for example. There's like a lot of stuff that still is kind of like I know it's early access, and if that's the case, then that's the case. But it just feels weird to me. Anyway, though, let's keep watching.
and POE2's launch was imminent, and I'll tell you what, taking people off POE2 at that point was just impossible. The endgame was not in a shippable state. But you know what? We could still do it. If the POE1 team just kept helping until POE2 shipped in late November, we could still do it. Maybe the scope would need to decrease a little bit, but mid-February was still possible. We just needed to ship this damn game first, get it out of the way. We literally couldn't think about anything else until it was done, but we still had time. The problem is, we were fooling ourselves. POE2 was delayed 3 weeks, making the problem even worse. And then after the game was released, well, of course we had to immediately deal with all the problems. How could we think about making a POE1 expansion when we still have hundreds of thousands of people who are having bad experiences in POE2? There are crashes, there are severe in-game balance problems. How could I justify taking some of the most experienced developers we have off POE2 when it's on fire? Now, after the
This one here brings to the next question, which is, I'm curious because they've obviously been very successful, right? Between POE1 and POE2, successes across the board. So if you're pulling people from POE1, I'm guessing this is an issue of not necessarily that you want the better developers, but more so you're spread too thin and you don't have enough members. So is this this is more of a question for you guys if you know. Is it hard or difficult for them to hire more people because of them being in New Zealand? Like it's harder to get people there? Because I feel like they could just have a bigger team, and by having a bigger team, they could address more issues regarding POE2, and then the couple of POE1, developers, I don't know how many there are, 8, 10, 15, can maintain POE1, and then maybe ideally they pull no one, but, like one or two can help oversee some issues or whatever. I'm just very curious, and I know that that's too much transparency probably to give. I just don't know how any of this works as like a gamer, right? Rather than anything else.
The Christmas break, we had to really admit something to ourselves. The most urgent priority was getting POE2 to a point where it didn't have major issues. And it's hard to even think about what POE1 needs when POE2 has really obvious problems that need fixing. We needed to get it to the point of stability and balance, and to fix the most severe deficiencies that POE2 has before we can take our eyes off it. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we can't really work on POE1 3.26 until POE2 0.2.0 has shipped. And then being honest, we probably need to support that for a couple of weeks after that as well. Now in the meantime, we are going to get a bunch of pre-production done on 3.26 with whatever people who are not needed to fix issues with POE2. And once 0.2.0 is sorted, I promise we will devote as many resources as are needed from our company to get 3.26 done as soon as possible. Unfortunately, I just can't promise a date right now. Now I'm really sorry for how this went down. Honestly, I should have predicted the fact that taking the POE1 team off POE1 would lead to this outcome, and I probably should have resisted doing it. But at every stage, I just kept thinking, we still have time, and then we didn't have time anymore. Now, we still have a lot to learn about how to run 2 games simultaneously. We were overconfident. We still need to work out how to structure our studio to make this possible. But we do have a solid plan for what we want to do with 3.26. Obviously, I can't talk about it yet, but I'm hoping you guys are going to love it. I really want to thank you guys for all your support over the years. You guys do deserve better than this, and we will get 3.26 out as fast as we can.
Overall consensus, sorry, muted in the morning. Kind of expected, but really sad, right? Now, before I get started, I see people who are saying hashtag fuck POE2, you lied to us, I gave you money, give me back my supporter packs. I'm not like that, okay? I'm a very patient person. I love Path of Exile, right? I don't think that they destroyed Path of Exile. I literally, actually, I could literally see it in my chat right here. I'm not even live yet. I can actually see it. It's everywhere. I think that PoE just hit a bump, and it's just delayed, right? I on one hand, I don't know if I would rather like a new league launch and it would be on fire versus a delayed league. I guess we're kind of comparing bad scenarios here, but it's delayed. Shit happens. It sucks. It really does. PoE2 is in a state where it's not that I don't want to play it, it's that it needs more because it's early access, right? My favorite part of an ARPG is the character building and the end game. And those are kind of lacking for me right now in PoE2. Like, it's fun just after playing it for a month. I need a break until this, 0.2 patch comes out. So, plans moving forward would be, I think I'm going to host a private league, right? It's either going to be today, sometime this week, or probably next week. Monday may even be more appropriate. The private league will be Necro Settlers Relaunch number 8, and we'll play through that. And then I think I'll play through that until the big PoE2 patch comes, and then probably drop the PoE2 patch when the PoE1 patch comes, and then hopefully everything is like back to normal, and then we're kind of good to go, right? Overall, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Definitely a big oversight, like for sure a big oversight. About like 10 years ago on my stream, people used to say this word to me all the time. They used to call me cocky. I think that's exactly what happened with the PoE2 like release. And the primary reason is I remember, I don't know if it was Chris boasting or if it was Jonathan boasting about how we're so lucky that we're working on 2 different games because we can test stuff in one for the other. Like, for example, Ruthless, right? Ruthless had some form of testing for some form of itemization and gold system for like PoE2. And then this ended up backfiring on them because now they are trying to devote too many resources to one because they didn't have enough. And then their release dates conflict with their own game. So definitely, like, not everything is as straightforward as it seems. Anyway, though, like I said, moving forward, it is what it is. I still love Path of Exile. It's not going anywhere for me. It's just delayed. I still love PoE2. It still just needs a lot of work. I still love GGG, although this is a little bit of a slap in the face. It's not like, I don't know, like I'm still going to play both the games regardless, right? So anyway, I'm going to catch you guys later. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Sad day for PoE1 players, but it is what it is. Anyway, take care. I'm going to be live on my channel at twitch.tv/Pohx after this video, so feel free to join and hop over and say hello. We're playing some RF Chieftain in PoE1 since RF is not out in PoE2. Anyway, though, catch you guys all later, and thanks for watching.